1. The universal problem, anxiety and isolation. Look, let's get honest about why you clicked this video. It's not just about learning how to speak. It's about the fear of what happens when you do speak. You carry this invisible barrier, this constant anxiety, every time you walk into a networking event, every time you get on a Zoom call with a potential client, or every time you have to pitch your vision to a room full of decision makers. You think your anxiety is a personal flaw, a weakness unique to you, and it isolates you. I want you to understand that this feeling of isolation is universal for high performers. Why? Because the stakes are higher for you. When you have an entrepreneurial drive, when you have a sharp mind, the pressure to articulate that complex, high-value idea perfectly is immense. And what happens? You either shrink, you stutter, or you overtalk, burying your genius in a barrage of insecure words. This isn't a technical communication problem. It's a mindset block that is actively costing you money, costing you influence, and costing you opportunities for genuine, deep connection. You are letting your fear of judgment act as a gatekeeper to your financial and personal ascent. Think about the last time you stayed silent when you should have spoken up. That silence wasn't protective, it was expensive. It was the cost of a partnership you didn't form, a client you didn't land, or a promotion you didn't receive. This series of codes is designed to shatter that isolation. We are going to deconstruct the anxiety that holds you back and replace it with structure, authority, and intentionality. You are already smart enough. You are already capable enough. Now, we just need to give your mind the tools to express that capability without the emotional baggage. We are turning your anxiety into anticipation and your fear into focus. Stop letting the fear of a 20-second interaction sabotage your 20-year vision. The transformation begins not with volume, but with silence. And that silence starts right now with the power of the pause. 2. The power of the pause. We begin with the most counterintuitive, most powerful tool in your communication arsenal, silence. I'm talking about the strategic, intentional pause. When you get anxious, what do? You rush. You fill every available second with sound, or just rapid-fire talking, because you feel obligated to hold the floor. You fear that if you stop, you'll lose control, or worse, they'll interrupt you. Here is the mindset shift. The pause is not a sign of confusion. It is the punctuation mark of power. I want you to start using the pause to perform 3 immediate, high-leverage actions in every interaction. First, the pause gives you the microsecond you need to structure the next thought. This ensures your words are delivered with laser-like clarity, directly translating your complex thought into simple, authoritative language. Second, the pause gives the listener the necessary time to process your high-value information. When you speak quickly, their mind is playing catch-up. When you pause, their mind is catching the ball. This is how you shift from simply presenting information to actually having an impact. And third, and this is crucial for the entrepreneur, the pause establishes your authority. When you speak and then intentionally stop, you are sending a clear, nonverbal signal that says, I have finished the thought. I am in control of this space. I am waiting for you to process the magnitude of what I just said. It creates a vacuum that your listener is compelled to fill with respect, not interruption. Start practicing today. Every time you finish a key point in a meeting, take a 3-second deliberate pause before moving on or asking the next question. You will notice the immediate shift in how seriously your audience takes your words. The person who is comfortable with silence is always the person in charge. 3. Shyness is a behavior, not an identity. You've probably told yourself and others, I'm just a shy person. I'm here to tell you that is a lie. A convenient excuse that masks a lack of strategic effort. Shyness is not a fixed personality trait. It is a series of behaviors that you have relentlessly practiced over the last 5, 10, or 20 years. Think about that. You are highly disciplined in your shyness. You practice the downward gaze, the low volume, the retreating posture, and the avoidance of eye contact so consistently that it has become your default mode. The great news for your mindset is this. Anything that can be practiced can be unpracticed and then replaced. You are an entrepreneur, a builder, a developer. You understand systems. So, let's treat shyness as an outdated operating system that needs an immediate upgrade. We are going to replace shy behaviors with authoritative behaviors. I want you to commit to practicing 3 simple, deliberate micro-behaviors this week. The stare down. Hold eye contact for 1 second longer than is comfortable when you greet someone new. The chest up. Before you enter a room, deliberately adjust your posture, shoulders back, chest slightly forward. You are visually taking up more space. The volume command. In your next conversation, choose a volume level that feels 20% too loud. You need to recalibrate your internal volume gauge, which is currently set too low. This isn't about being extroverted. It's about being intentional. Every single time you execute one of these new behaviors, you are deleting a piece of the old, limiting program. Stop calling yourself shy and start recognizing the powerful new behaviors you are installing. Confidence is simply the result of practicing confident actions. Let's start the installation today. 4. Identify your inherited voice. If you want to master communication, you must first understand where your voice comes from. Your communication style, your tone, your volume, your body language, and even your default level of assertiveness was inherited. You learned how to engage with the world based on the loudest, most frequent voices in your childhood home, your school, and your first jobs. Think back. Were you raised in an environment where questions were encouraged or where silence was the safest answer? Did your mentors communicate through shouting or through quiet, measured discussion? Your current communication defaults are simply a sophisticated survival mechanism you developed years ago. If you were taught that being small was safe, your entrepreneurial voice will default to smallness, regardless of your business achievements. Here is your assignment for your mindset. I want you to audit your inherited voice. Identify one positive trait, for example, listening skills, patience, and one negative trait, for example, interrupting, avoiding conflict, that you inherited. Acknowledge them. You cannot change what you do not name. The moment you recognize that your fear of confrontation comes from seeing your parents avoid it, you free yourself to choose a new path. The entrepreneur cannot afford to be trapped by old narratives. Your success demands that you build a voice that serves your current mission, not the survival needs of your past. We are not erasing your history. We are recognizing its influence and choosing to adopt new, empowering habits. You have to consciously decide, my voice will now reflect my ambition, not my conditioning. 5. The 88-key instrument analogy. You possess an incredible instrument, your capacity for communication, but right now, you are likely only playing 5 keys. This is the 88-key instrument analogy. Your full instrument has the range to express confidence, assertiveness, empathy, humor, and commanding authority. But because you are comfortable, your home is those same 5 familiar keys: low volume, nervous chuckle, safe topics, and generic language. Your goal in personal development is to explore the other 83 keys. You have the access, but you lack the familiarization. Every time you shrink from public speaking, you are choosing to avoid the loud keys. Every time you fail to negotiate for your value, you are ignoring the assertive keys. You are limiting your entrepreneurial opportunities because you are unwilling to play the full range of the instrument you already own. I want you to start viewing every social interaction as a practice session on your 88-key instrument. Here's how you start playing a new key. First, choose one new key. Identify one communication style you never use, e.g., using a powerful, declarative statement instead of asking a question. Second, deliberate practice. Commit to using that new key in 3 different conversations this week. It will feel foreign, even fake, but that feeling is simply the unfamiliarity of a new skill. Third, expand your home. By deliberately practicing a new key, you expand your comfort zone. Soon, those 83 foreign keys become part of your default repertoire. Stop letting comfort define your capability. The master communicator uses the entire instrument. Your income, your influence, and your impact are directly tied to the range of notes you are willing to play. 6. Eliminate the vocal robbers, ums and ahs. Let's talk about the subtle saboteurs of your authority. The vocal robbers, the ums, ahs, likes, and you knows. You may believe these are harmless habits, but in the entrepreneurial arena, they are perceived as telltale signs of mental uncertainty and lack of preparation. Every time a vocal filler escapes your mouth, it robs you of clarity and credibility. Imagine you are pitching an investor on a multi-million-dollar deal. If your sentence is littered with these fillers, the subconscious signal you are sending is, I'm not fully sure of this data, or I'm making this up as I go. This isn't just about sounding polished. This is about perception of competence. Your audience is subconsciously tracking your fluency, and if that fluency is broken by fillers, your high-value message is being delivered through a low-trust mechanism. Here is the simple, powerful cure. Replace the filler with the pause. Remember segment 2? When you feel the urge to say, you must discipline yourself to use that time for silence instead. The silence is a second for you to collect your thought, while the filler signals a distraction. Here is your practical challenge. Record yourself talking for 3 minutes about your business or expertise. Listen back only for the fillers. Identify your personal vocal robber. Once you name it, you can eliminate it. You will find that replacing these fillers with deliberate pauses instantly elevates your perceived authority and makes your language feel tighter, more professional, and more persuasive. Precision in speech is a prerequisite for precision in business. 7. Use body language for authority. We often focus only on the words, but nonverbal cues are the contract of credibility. Your body language is speaking volumes before your mouth ever opens. And if your posture is defensive or small, you are preemptively forfeiting your authority. For the entrepreneur, controlling the nonverbal domain is essential for controlling the meeting. I want you to think about 2 primary nonverbal commands. 1. Commanding space. Stop shrinking. If you are sitting, sit upright, shoulders back, with both arms visible on the table. If you are standing, use the power of the stance. The vertical plane is the authority plane. When you stand, you are inherently harder to interrupt and psychologically positioned as the leader. If you are in a meeting where others are sitting, simply say, "I've been sitting all day. Do you mind if I stand for this section?" You have now taken control of the physical space. 2. Intentional gestures. Stop using fidgeting or closed-off gestures, crossed arms. Your hands should be used to emphasize high-value points. Open palms signal honesty. Deliberate gestures signal confidence. Your mindset must reflect that you deserve the space you take up. If your body language says, "I hope I don't bother anyone," your words will follow. But if your body language says, "I am bringing immense value to this room," your words will carry that weight. Your nonverbal language is the first negotiation you enter into. Make sure you negotiate for power. 8. Stop being easy to interrupt. Here is a painful truth. The reason people interrupt you is not because they are rude. It's because you are easy to interrupt. Your communication profile is too soft. It lacks the necessary friction to hold the floor. This is a critical business skill. If you can't protect your speaking time, you can't protect your ideas, and you certainly can't protect your profits. You need to establish boundaries in your delivery. I want you to start thinking about the 3 ways you make yourself easy to interrupt. 1. Low volume default. If you speak too quietly, the other person's instinct is to lean in, and their low conversational volume naturally allows them to talk over you. 2. Trailing off. When you drop your pitch and volume at the end of a sentence, you are signaling, "I am finished and open for interruption." 3. Lack of visual hold. You break eye contact or look at the floor, forfeiting your visual claim on the conversation space. The solution is discipline. Do the opposite. Speak with a volume that is 20% louder than your comfort level. When you finish a thought, maintain your eye contact and use the power of the pause, from Code 2, to physically hold the space open. You are forcing the other person to make a deliberate, conscious choice to interrupt you, rather than letting them flow over your soft words. When you create that friction, people respect your speaking time, and they respect your authority. 9. The introvert's strategic energy. If you identify as an introvert, you may believe that highly effective communication is simply too draining, that the energy required for constant networking and speaking will always put you at a disadvantage. This is a mindset that needs immediate correction. You don't lack energy, you just need to manage it strategically. The introvert's path to communication mastery is not about becoming an extrovert. It's about becoming an optimizer. Your energy is a finite resource, and every successful entrepreneur manages their finite resources. You must become hyper-aware of how your energy is rejuvenated and how it is depleted. I want you to develop your menu of rejuvenation, a list of 3 to 5 activities that reliably refill your energy. Example: 20 minutes of silence, reading, a focused workout. Before a major networking event or pitch, you must invest in one of those items. You are filling your tank before the journey. And critically, practice intentional communication. Stop wasting energy on low-value small talk. When you engage, make it meaningful. Ask high-value questions that require thoughtful answers. By focusing on depth rather than breadth, you maximize your impact while minimizing your energy expenditure. The introvert who knows how to strategically use their finite focus is often more powerful than the extrovert who burns out from talking too much. Use your natural ability for deep thinking as your superpower. 10. The communication skill gap. This is the harsh reality that separates the technically brilliant from the genuinely successful. You can be a 10 out of 10 in technical skill, but if your communication skill is a 3 out of 10, your career ceiling will be that 3. Think about the most effective entrepreneurs and leaders you know. Are they the absolute best coders, engineers, or accountants? Sometimes, but more often, they are the people who can articulate the vision, persuade the client, and inspire the team. This skill gap exists because the market does not reward competence alone. It rewards competence that can be effectively communicated. Many in your niche prioritize mastering the software, the financial model, or the specific trade skill. You view communication as a soft skill, when in reality, it is the hardest skill multiplier in your entire career. Your ability to communicate dictates the size of the team you can lead, the price you can charge, and the clarity of the vision you can convey. I want you to dedicate structured time to your communication development, just as you would for your business plan. Practice articulating your business value in a single, powerful sentence. Practice receiving difficult feedback without defensiveness. Until you close this communication gap, your potential will be perpetually undervalued. Your technical brilliance is the engine, but communication is the high-octane fuel that determines the distance you can travel. 11. The single law: spread love and compassion. We have spent 11 segments dissecting authority, discipline, technique, and strategy. You now have the codes to become an unstoppable communicator, a force that cannot be ignored. But I want to leave you with the single, most critical law that governs all communication. Use your instrument to spread more love, kindness, and compassion. Without this ethical foundation, all the techniques we discussed, the power of the pause, the authoritative body language, the strategic use of silence, can easily be twisted into manipulation or self-serving dominance. Your entrepreneurial journey must be anchored in something greater than just personal wealth or influence. You must ask yourself, what service am I providing? What value am I creating? Your goal is not simply to be heard. It is to be heard in the service of elevating others. When you lead a meeting, your clarity should serve the team's efficiency. When you negotiate, your assertiveness should serve the fairness of the deal. When you speak on stage, your message should serve the growth of the audience. This is the ultimate mindset shift. Communication is service. When you approach every interaction with the goal of adding value, providing clarity, or building connection, the anxiety naturally dissolves because the focus shifts from "how do I look?" to "how can I help?" You have been given a powerful instrument. Now, go into the world and use its full 88-key range to create a positive, profound impact. If you found value in this, please show us your support. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. It truly helps this channel grow, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step on your journey.